Hey, what's up guys? Today I'll be doing a review on the Title Boxing Hexicomb Tech Knuckle Guards. So stay tuned. Hey, what's up guys? Carlo here, and today I'm doing a review on the Title Boxing Hexicomb Tech Knuckle Guards. You can get this from TitleBoxing.com for $15. They're sold as a pair and they come in one size, which is size large, which is pretty much a one size fits all configuration. Regardless of your hand size, these use a neoprene style fabric, so when you put your hands in here, they stretch pretty nicely. So I'm gonna go ahead and put one away just so I can break down this one right here in detail for you guys. So the first thing you'll notice, which is the most obvious, is going to be this Hexicomb gel pad that goes over the knuckle. Now this is a technology that Title came out with a couple of years ago in their gloves and protective gear that are now, I believe, discontinued. They had a pair of boxing gloves that had this Hexicomb technology that was actually built into the glove on the exterior. You would actually be able to see this plastic material as well as that gel Hexicomb pad on the design of the glove itself. So my best assumption is that it didn't sell very well, just from a marketing standpoint. Maybe people thought it was kind of gimmicky, didn't like the look of the glove just because they only came in black and yellow. So you're kind of bottlenecked just to one look of the glove, and if you didn't have anybody that bid on that, then it was kind of a fail. So I just don't think those gloves sold very well, either the headgear. They also had some MMA gloves too that used this style of technology, all with the black and yellow colorway, and I think they just kind of shaved all that off and just stuck with the knuckle guard. So I've used this for about a week and a half now. I've had some pretty good feedback with these to kind of give you guys my idea on whether or not these are worth the money, even though they are only 15 bucks, but even then $15 saved is $15 saved. So with that being said, this knuckle pad right here, I'd say is about a ½ inch to maybe 3/4 inch of gel padding. So this Hexicomb technology that looks like honeycomb, like in a beehive, basically is a gel pad with like little holes poked through it. And the whole idea behind that, at least from what Title explains, is that it's supposed to be like an air pocket. So when you land your punches, it kind of disperses the shock a little bit better. In my opinion, I don't feel any difference, to be honest with you. I mean, it feels more protective than without the gel pad, but to me, this is just a standard gel pad that just looks fancy. And then you have this little plastic window that's kind of stitched in over that with the Title logo. That has kind of a more like a patent leather kind of look to it. And then you have the finger pieces as well that also have the gel padding. So I do like the fact that they integrated the gel padding further out onto the little finger pieces right here, the little finger sleeves that have the gel padding, which is, I'd say, about ½ inch as well. So you have that with the neoprene on the inside of the fingers with some ventilated holes. And then the other big one, which is why I'm not sure if they did this, but they also put a gel grip bar that says Hexicomb. Now, this is good if you're using this for like bag mitts. So for example, if I were to use this for like my Rival or my Barrack bag mitts that don't have a grip bar or a really pronounced grip bar built into them, and then this might be helpful. But if you're wearing a standard pair of boxing gloves that's already snug fitting and has a grip bar, it almost feels like overkill, and it makes the hand compartment that much tighter. One thing to remember is that you're going to be using these under your hand wraps. So in addition to the hand wraps, you're going to have all of this extra bulk built into the hand wrap. Now that you have to slide that into your glove, if the glove isn't roomy, it's definitely going to be a very tight fit, and it's kind of going to suffocate your hands. As far as the left and the right side goes, one thing you'll notice is that they don't actually mark the left and the right on this right here. Let me just kind of show you guys the tag. These are made in Pakistan, but there is no indication of which one's the left or the right. The only way I knew that was by the way the fingers were cut. So you can see that this is the right side just because my middle finger is taller, so it goes on the taller finger opening right there. So this would be the left. It would have been nice to have like a big L and a big R on the inside, just so I mean, obviously you can look at it and tell, but it just makes it a little bit easier not to have to think about it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these both on so you guys can see how easy they are to slide onto your hands. They slide right over your knuckles. So fitment's really nice. I do like that. Construction of these have held up okay. One thing you'll notice is that the stitching is already kind of starting to peel away from the fingers. So this is going to be an area with that little spandex in between the fingers. There's some spandex that gives it that stretchability, but it's going to end up tearing right there, which is what I'm kind of waiting for. And then you have the grip bar. So obviously without gloves on, it feels good because now I have something to grip onto. So if you're just using these for shadow boxing and just doing some ring work and moving around, warming up, then the grip bar actually feels really nice. It almost feels like an egg weight in a way where you have your hands, even though there's no really much weight to these, it feels nice having those grip bars there. The issue is when you wrap your hands and put them into gloves that it becomes super tight. Let's go ahead and slide that over. Put that on as well. So you can see the knuckle guard looks really good. It looks excellent on the hands. And the knuckle guard goes right over the knuckles. The big thing with this is going to be the shock absorption. So these do a really nice job, similar to my Skulltech gel pads that I did a review on a couple of years ago, and being able to absorb shock. So if you're looking for something that you need more protection over your knuckles, these do a really nice job. And the fact that you have a little bit of extra padding over your fingers, if you were to place a shot that was a little off and wasn't directly over the knuckles and you went a little bit lower, at least you have the padding over your kind of this part of your fingers as well. So it's not just this upper section that's padded, you also have this lower section that the padding joins into as well. So once you have your hands wrapped with these, they're really comfortable. The big drawback is going to be the grip bar inside of the hand compartment and the bulkiness of it. So I'm going to wrap my hands with these on just so you guys can see how these look once your hands are wrapped. All right, so I have my box raw hand wraps ready to go. I just slid this Hexicomb knuckle guard on. I'm gonna go ahead and start wrapping my hand. That way you guys can see just the overall look and feel of these hand wraps with these on. So the great thing about any kind of knuckle guard compared to a hand wrap without it is that you don't have to dedicate as much of your knuckle guard to over your knuckles in this area, and you can put more down on your wrist and the back of your hand, give yourself a little bit more support. So that's the great thing about knuckle guards, is you have more of this fabric that you can use on other parts of your hand rather than over your knuckles. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up like I usually do, around the thumb. And I'll go back around the hand again. And I'm gonna go back this way. I'm gonna go through the fingers still, so you don't get any finger support. So when you're wrapping your hands, you gotta make sure that you're going between your fingers still, even though you're using this Hexicomb knuckle guard. So keep that in mind, that you still wanna go through the fingers to give yourself the support for those little bones in your fingers. So that is really important. So putting that all in, make sure I open and close my hands as I go through this process to get the right tension. Go back and over, and kind of finish off at the wrist. So, feels really nice and protective over the knuckles. Feels really nice and comfortable. It's just you have a ton of material. I'll call it material because that grip bar adds so much more. So when you slide your hands into your gloves, this grip bar almost makes it harder to slide your hand into a glove because of that. And to me, if Tidal just got rid of that, this would have been so much more comfortable, especially since you're using it with a pair of boxing gloves. You're not using this without gloves typically. So if they can cut that knuckle guard out, or should I say that that grip bar out, this would make this knuckle guard so much more comfortable and won't feel so bulky inside of the hand compartment. But other than that, I do like the gel padding. Do I think that Hexicomb technology works, for example? I mean, I think that the gel pad works. I don't know if that Hexicomb technology does anything, because I don't feel like it makes much of a difference at all compared to like my Skulltech gel pads, or even my Winning NG2, which is also a piece of gel. So I think it's right there along with them. So, I mean, for $15, I do like the fact that the cost is relatively inexpensive, and you also get that little extra piece of gel over the fingers, and the material is really nice, but I just don't think the technology is what it is. I just think it's a gel pad that looks fancy, and that extra grip bar doesn't help it as well. So if they can get rid of that, that'd make these a lot more comfortable. So if you guys have any questions or comments, make sure you guys leave them down below in the comments box. I'll put the link in the description box where you can find these Title Boxing Hexicomb Tech knuckle guards. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.